Right quick. The government needs some money.
They do? Have you got any?
The government needs some money. You got a quick comment? The government needs money. They need shale gas. You got a comment?
They need something, all right, Charles.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. The government needs a shale gas. They need money. You got a comment? Okay. No. Please preserve our water. No fracking. Okay. There we go. The government needs the money. You got something to say? Okay. The government needs the money. You got something to say? Quick.
Well, we want money, but we don't it the right way, please.
Oh, okay, no problem. The government needs the money. You got something to say?
They have enough already.
Yeah, no way.
No way. The government needs the money. You got something to say?
10% of all the revenue that Shell are gonna get. And what about us?
Good. The government needs the money. You got something to say about that?
Pardon?
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got something to say?
That's what risk.
We need water
Help.
to live.
Sell our water instead. It's pure.
Say no to shale gas.
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got something to say about that?
Pardon?
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got something to
They
say?
need the money.
Quick.
The money isn't the only motive. Profit is not the only reason that you do things.
We need health and education looked after.
Good. The government needs the money. You got something to say about that?
This is going to cost the government more money than they can even imagine in repairing roads, repairing people's health, cleaning up the ground after it's been contaminated.
The government needs the money. You got something to say about that?
They're giving it away.
The government needs the money. You got something to say about that?
Yeah, they have enough money.
Government needs the money for Shell gas. You got something to say about that? Think about it. You got something to say about that?
What's that?
The government needs the money. That's
No,
why we
they
need.
don't.
No.
They still be breaking no matter how much money they got.
The government needs the money. You got something to say about that? Government needs the money for Shell gas. No. The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment about that?
Their choice. Do you want it?
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment about that? Government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment about that? The government needs the money for Shell gas. That's why we need Shell gas. You got a comment about that?
Oh, not really.
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment about that?
Say that again.
The government needs money for Shell gas. That's why we need Shell gas. You got a comment? Nobody got a comment here? We need the money for Shell gas. You got a comment about that? The government needs the money.
Government needs the money?
Yeah.
Well, they've had money since Confederation and wasted it, so...
Good answer. Is there another one here? I like this one. Water is life. So true. That's good. Thanks. It's funny.
Might be right.
But there's a lot of people.
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment on that?
The government needs the money for Shell gas.
They're not going to have the money that they're hoping to get.
Okay.
It's a false profit.
Okay, that's good. I'm going around here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, say that
The
again.
government needs the money for Shell gas. That's why we need Shell gas. You got a comment on that?
Yeah, the money that they're going to get from shale gas, the very little of it, isn't even going to cover the health impacts and all the crime increase that's going to come with it.
Good. The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment on that?
Pardon?
The government needs the money for Shell gas. You got a comment on that? You got a comment on that? Government needs money for Shell gas. You got a comment on that?
I do have a comment on that. But what about the money the government's going to need to clean up the mess afterwards?
True.
Hey, what do they need what do they need the money for? To give the NB Power executives a big bonus?
They want to
pay them all that money?
They want to increase their pension a couple of years from now.
Great. Okay. Good idea. Then I guess we need the money.
The government needs the money for Shell gas. They need the money. What do you got to say about that?
Oh, I think probably they could use money differently.
Differently, exactly. The government needs the money for Shell gas. What do you got to say about that?
We can get money in other ways.
Likewise.
Well, if you really want to know my opinion is that there's many other ways to get.
Exactly. Everybody saying the same thing. Excuse me. The government needs the money for Shell gas. What do you got to say about that? The government needs the money for Shell gas. What do you think about that?
They're always needing money.
There's never enough money in the world, but there's also never enough water in the world.
I think that water is going to be the thing we have to have is water.
Sounds good to me.
Life's more important than money.
Exactly. The government needs money for Shell gas. What do you got to say about that?
What does it need the money
government,
for?
No, okay. Their pension.
It's not how much money you've got, it's how you use it.
Exactly.
The New Brunswick government has plenty of money if it used it properly.
That's it. The government needs money for Shell gas. What do you got to say about that?
I don't think they need that money that bad.
That's good. The government needs money for Shell gas. What do you got to say about that? They need money.
They need money. So what about environment, clean water? So can they sell that for just money?
Exactly.
Children, future?
That's what we're just going to say. The
What
children,
future do
right
they
here.
have?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So true. Well, I'm going around and saying the government needs money for Shell gas. So you guys are the government. You got a comment on that? None.
I look like the government.
You're the government? No, nobody.
Government voting for us?
You guys are. You're a former Irving employee. Huh? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know. Your last comment. The government needs money for Shell gas. What are you going to say about that?
The government needs
money. That's why we want Shell gas.
Well, you can't eat money.
That's good.